that even mean, Bowers game?
Ahoy there, YouTube. We're back again for another How to Play, and today you're going to learn how to play Dragonath. So how do you play Dragonath?
Okay, so Dragonath is an asymmetric strategy war game for 2 players, in which your goal will be to manage and grow a civilization with very unique abilities and conquer a randomly generated terrain. And your goal will be to earn your dragon's favor. Dragonath is a world that was created by dragons, and their energy still shapes the actions of the civilizations. So your goal will be to earn your dragon's favor. If you gain at least 7 favor points by the end of the turn, you win the game. So there are 3 basic elements in the game. You have your reserve of legions and settlements. Legions are the rounded shaped tokens, while settlements are the hexagonal shaped tokens. You have your fate deck, which has 2 types of cards. You have infrastructure feats and battle feats. Infrastructure feats will allow you to grow your civilization, while battle feats will allow you to gain an upper hand in battles. And lastly, you have the randomly generated map with different terrains. For instance, you have the glass marks, which are special terrains that will allow you to gain 1 favor point if you conquer it, and different kind of terrains. So in the first phase of the game, which is the harvest phase, you will gather resources from the terrains that you're conquering. For instance, if you're conquering one meadow with this infantry, you will gain the amount of gold indicated on the terrain. So in this case, you will gain 1 gold. If you're conquering, you may conquer a terrain with a legion, with a settlement, or with a legend. Legends are unique characters that come from the fate deck, so you need to have it in your hand in order to play it. And they don't have any cost in gold, but they do have a requisite in order to recruit them. For instance, Queen Giselle, you need to have 3 built terrains before you can recruit her. Legends have special abilities, and they also have a mission that allows you to gain 1 additional favor point. In the game, you can gain and lose favor in different ways, so that will greatly change the way the game advances. So, during the harvest phase, as I said, you will gather resources from the map, from the conquered terrains. You will also ready your tokens. If they are exhausted, you will ready them, flipping them to show their color side. And you will also draw a card from your fate deck. Then we move on to the infrastructure phase, in which you will play most of your cards. In this phase, you can recruit a legion, or you can build a settlement by paying their cost in gold. You can recruit a legion wherever you have a settlement already, and you can build a settlement where you already have a legion or legend. In this phase, you can also buy attachments from your arsenal. This is a great way to change the course of a game and to change your strategy. So this allows you to customize your legions and legends and settlements. You can pay the cost indicated there and attach, for instance, a sword on an infantry, giving it a +1 power. So this is a great way to customize your tokens. During this phase, you can also play an infrastructure feat from your hand, just by revealing it, carrying out the effect, and then discarding it. And there are some cards that have an infrastructure ability, like the peasants. The peasants, for instance, allows you to exhaust them and turn that terrain into a meadow. So then we move on to the third phase, which is the supply phase. In this phase, you'll take any amount of gold that you already have in your reserve and place it on any amount of your terrains. For instance, you can do this. This gold will be necessary later in the incursion phase to move your tokens to an adjacent terrain. So in the next phase, you can move the queen to the glass mark. This one you wouldn't be able to move it because it's exhausted, but you could move the infantry towards the adjacent meadow. So during this phase, the incursion, you can move towards a terrain from your opponent. So if this happened, for instance, if you move towards this mountain where these agitators are right now, you would be invading your opponent's terrain. Therefore, you would put an invasion token next to your invaders. movements can continue until both players pass, and then we move on to the battle phase, where all battles will be resolved. Starting with a battle with less amount of tokens, we will start resolving this battle. So the defender of the terrain will start first with their first battle action. Battle actions can be attacking a legion or a settlement, playing a battle feat or a battle ability from a card that's on the terrain, or passing. When you attack, when you attack a token, you just flip the token, indicating that you're exhausting it, and you choose a target for the attack. So in this case, this token has a power of 2, and you're attacking a token that has a power of 1 in this case, because of their ability. The Agitator's ability gives them as much power as tokens the player has on the battle terrain. So, as this is a larger number than this token will be destroyed. The winner of the battle is the player that has the most amount of tokens by the end of the battle when both players passed. When you win a battle, you gain 1 favor point, and the other player loses 1 favor point, but draws 1 card from their fate deck. After all the battles were resolved, we move on to the end of turn phase, where you will gain 1 favor point if you conquer a glass mark, 1 favor point if you achieved the offering to your dragon. Offerings are also a very asymmetric part of the game. It's a gift that civilizations give to their dragon, so if you achieve that ability, you will gain an additional point. So if one of the players got to 7 favor points, they win the game. If not, the initiative passes and the next turn starts. So this is a prototype. Things might change, but the essence of the game is what you're seeing right now and what I just explained. Thank you very much.
And I think the only thing we didn't talk about are these right here at the beginning of the game as well?
Yeah, you're right. So each civilization has a wisdoms card, which is the card that gives them their essence, basically, and what makes the game more asymmetric. For instance, the Trayz of Zardoth has these 4 abilities. They can earn only half as much from their conquered terrains, but they gain always 1 gold from each dry land that they own. The Trayz of Zardoth can also move very easily by spending 1 supplied gold to move all 3 tokens that they can have in 1 single terrain. For instance, if the tribes have this, they can discard 1 gold to move 3 towards different terrains or towards the same terrain. That's up to you. They just have to be adjacent. The other ability is that they can discard 1 card from their hand to recruit a legion from their reserve that costs up to 2 gold. And the last one is called Pillagers. They turn the terrain into a dryland. When they win a battle, they turn that terrain into a dryland and they gain 5 gold. So they're more aggressive, more impulsive, but not a steady source of gold. On the other hand, we have the Kingdom of Rahim. The Kingdom of Rahim has 5 options from which you can choose 2 at the beginning of the game. So they give you a lot of versatility when you're playing the kingdom, but once you choose 1 ability, you already have your strategy. So you don't have a lot of adaptability like maybe the tribes have. There are 2 other civilizations that we have. One is called the Guard of Hedim, that follows Hedim. Hedim is the goddess of growth. So a lot of forests will appear on the map when that civilization plays. And they have a wildlife bag full of fairies, spirits, wolves, and other animals. And then we have the Cult of Premier, that is the civilization for vampires and agents and secrecy. So I think that would be it.
Thank you very much. That is Dragonath. If it looks like it might be your cup of tea, be sure to check that one out. If you're enjoying the coverage, please be sure to click on the subscribe button down below. Have a good one.
This video is brought to you by all of my amazing Patreon supporters, and I would love it if you would join their ranks and have your name immortalized in the end of many of my videos for the end of time. But consider for only $1 a month, and as always, thanks for stopping by.